tired. I'm so tired for some reason. I feel like I don't really sleep well enough. Oh, hey Lord, you know. Yo, bitch, what the fuck? Is this thing working? Thank you, Lord. All right. We were reacting to some shit. There you
Hello,
go.
and welcome back to Heart Starts Pounding, a podcast of horrors, hauntings, and mysteries.
I'll be on my way. I don't even know. Let's do this.
As always, I'm your host, Kaylin Moore, and normally on this show, we cover all sorts of terrifying stories, but today I'm turning the camera back on you guys, and I want to cover really scary stories that were sent in by listeners. These are all true terrifying tales, and I felt like there was no one better to join me than Miss Morgan Absher.
Hello, guys.
We just got done recording an episode for your show where you read to me some scary stories.
Terrifying.
And now we're doubling up with this one. And I just don't think I'm going to be able to sleep tonight.
There's no chance. There's absolutely no chance.
I mean, you showed me some photos that are truly haunting.
I'm going to have to sleep with the lights on.
That episode is available on the 2 Hot Takes feed right now as part of our spooky season programming. Yeah, it seems like your listeners really love the scary stuff.
They do. I'm so surprised because usually I'm like relationships and a lot of other drama, but like spooky season, we pop off. They love the spooky.
People love a good, true, scary story. And I'm one of those people. I totally understand it. There's something about it that really like scratches at my brain.
Yeah.
Especially when you hear, I mean, the stories that we were talking to on yours, it's like people like something weird was happening in my house. And then I realized there was a whole graveyard in my backyard that I didn't even know about.
I know. And I'm one of those people, I am a believer in this stuff. So like hearing real stories from like listeners, then you're like, oh no, this is definitely real.
And you're kind of having your own experience in your own home.
Yeah.
With some sort of spirit.
I know. It's just like, I had like a famous Hollywood actress die in my house. It was her house. And then like as I've been traveling, our cameras in our house have been like spotting someone and it'll track from the kitchen and like follow this like invisible thing down the hallway and then stop. So it's not like a fleck of dust and there's no dust. There's no like anything you can see. But it spots someone is what it says every time. And it's a Eufy system. Like it does not falsely trigger like this. So it's like, what are you seeing? That's not.
Did that just kind of start
recently?
One day? Oh, yeah.
Well. Somewhat recently. A lot of stuff started happening around the anniversary of her death, actually. Because I was talking and I was like, I keep like having weird stuff happen like in the house. And it's like, it's all kind of popped up around the anniversary of her death.
Interesting.
I know,
maybe she's coming back.
I think like she's trying to do something. She doesn't like when we're gone, for sure. And this is all kind of, I believe it's the 20th anniversary of her death.
Oh, really? I guess I didn't realize because she's like an old Hollywood actress and director. So it's interesting. But I guess, maybe she died just 20 years ago.
Yeah, she died in 1995.
Girl, that was 30 years ago. We're old.
Okay, if you listen to 2 Hot Takes, you know I'm really bad at math. Wait, oh my God, I was born in 94. What the hell, Morgan?
You're like, well, I'm 21. So that means she died 20 years ago.
I'm a 2005 baby now.
Wow. Okay, so 30 years.
Yeah.
Do you think, I mean, we talked about it briefly in the episode that we just recorded for you, but do you think she maybe has unfinished business that she's trying to get across?
I mean, she got really sick.
With who?
So I could see her feeling a little unresolved. But also at the same time, like, she was how old when she passed? I guess she was only 77.
Yeah, so maybe there is something.
There could have been something.
Crazy. Well, we're going to dive into our stories that we have today because these, similar to you, Morgan, are also people that had very spooky stuff happen to them.
I'm
and
so
a lot of them
nervous.
can't make sense of what is happening. So I want to start by reading a story that came from a listener called Amber, a listener named Amber. And it's just titled, What Whistled at Me in the Arizona Desert?
Already know.
For the past 9 days, I've been house sitting for my dad and stepmom in semi-rural southern Arizona. I say semi-rural because we're about 40 minutes from the city near Saguaro National Park. Not too far, but not too close either. I grew up in the area and only moved away a few years ago, where I now live with my husband in another state. My family is still here in Arizona, and I miss them deeply. So when my dad asked if I would watch their place while they took a month-long trip to Alaska, I jumped at the chance, as it meant that I could see my mom and my brother too. I agreed to cover the first 2 weeks, and then my brother would take over. Their place sits on a few acres just outside of town, the kind of property where the desert feels close. During the day, it's all sun and quiet heat, but at night, the darkness presses in from every side. They've got these 2 dogs, one who's basically a guard dog, plus 2 horses and a dozen chickens. The house is big, it's a little bit maze-like, and it's a patchwork of old rooms and new additions. There are more exterior doors than you would expect, hallways that dead end into small rooms, and spaces so deep and shadowy that the only light is from a single lamp or a small window. I've stayed here before, but never alone. The first few nights, I barely slept. Lucky, the guard dog, would erupt without warning.
Nope.
The sound tore me from my sleep, heart pounding, panic flooding my body before my brain could rationalize why. Then he would bolt through the dog door at the back of the house and be swallowed by the darkness outside. I would hear him tearing across the yard, his bark echoing off the barn and the garden walls. Before my dad left, he warned me that Lucky is sensitive to desert critters. Think javelina, coyotes, the occasional bobcat. So I told myself that it was nothing, and to be honest, night creatures are none of my business, especially since Lucky seemed to have it handled. But after a few nights of being startled awake, I started shutting the dog door and leaving the living room TV on low to give him something else to focus on. And for a while, it worked. But then came Friday night. I was in the back bedroom, getting ready to go to sleep, when both dogs suddenly snapped to attention. They shot to their feet, nails skittering across the tile, and bolted towards the back of the house. A second later, I heard it too. A person whistled. Short, sharp, deliberate. The kind of whistle you would use to get someone's attention. 2 or 3 rising notes, almost as if to say, "Hey, over here." It seemed to come from outside, right by the back patio where the dog door is. The dogs went wild, barking and racing into the night. I froze for a beat, and then slowly slunk out of the bed to grab my flashlight and scan the yard from the windows. The garden, the barn, the open stretch beyond the arena. Nothing to be seen. I called the dogs in, I shut the door, and told myself it was probably someone walking down the dirt road, or maybe in the wash behind the house. The next night, deciding to be extra careful, I walked the property, checked every lock and window, I shut the door, and made sure the place was secure. That gave me enough peace to finally relax a little. I was a few minutes into taking a shower and had a podcast playing quietly from my phone. And that's when Lucky went off again, loud, urgent barks from the attached bedroom. I called for him, trying to calm him down, but then I heard it. A man's voice. And not only that, it was a man's voice coming from somewhere inside the house.
Nope. Mm-mm.
I couldn't make out words, just the
TV,
sound of
right?
someone calling out across rooms, muffled by the walls and the noise of the shower. But it was deep, human, and clear enough that my body reacted before my brain could. Like some primal part of me just knew. Fear settled on top of me like a heavy blanket, and my brain landed on one crystal clear thought. There's a man inside the house. Lucky kept barking as I quietly stepped out of the shower, leaving it running, as I didn't want this person to know that I had heard them. I wrapped myself in a towel and grabbed my flashlight and phone. Only a few lights were on, so most of the house was dark. I crept towards where Lucky was, looking around as I went. Nothing in the kitchen, nothing in the living room, everything exactly as I left it. Lucky, though, was planted at the back patio door, staring at the dog door like he was waiting for something to come through it. Or maybe to be let out. Phone in hand, I was seconds from calling 911, or honestly my mom, but there was nothing obvious. There were no open doors or windows, nothing out of place, no sign anyone had been there at all, except for a freaked out dog and the sinking certainty that despite the evidence, I hadn't been alone. Yet in the back of my mind, I had a ridiculous thought. If the police come, I'll have to walk across the property in the dark to unlock the front gate in a towel with one shaved leg and a pink polka dot shower cap on my head. Making noise, turning on lights, any of that suddenly felt wrong. It felt like it could draw something towards me. So I just stood there frozen. My ears were straining for any signs in the now silent night. I couldn't bring myself to check the far hallways or the closed off bedrooms or the narrow stairs to the small second floor. Instead, I simply locked the bedroom door, pulled the dogs inside, and stayed put until morning.
Wow.
The next night, I gave up and stayed at my mom's. When I started telling my brother what happened, he cut me off before I even got to the details. He said that months ago, when he was alone in the house, he had heard a strange whistle inside too. The same kind of whistle that I had heard. He told me the place had always felt spooky to him too. Later, I spoke with my dad and stepmom, and they checked the cameras around the property. Nothing showed up either night. That's when my stepmom admitted that she's heard a person whistling there before too, but had always brushed it off as an echo or maybe a distant neighbor. There was someone or something in the house with me that night. I know it as confidently as I know my own name. And even now, sitting in the airport waiting to catch my flight home, I still can't seem to shake it.
Well, damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's I don't know if that's a person or a ghost. It feels like too clear to be a ghost.
Well, it kind of reminded me of someone like the Golden State Killer, or someone who scopes out the house, knows that there's a victim inside that they want to attack, but they're afraid of dogs. So maybe they were trying to lure the dog out so that they wouldn't be there. That to me is a really scary thought. But also on top of it, it does take place in Arizona. And that's where all of the scariest stuff in the desert is.
There's a lot of desert legends.
There's a lot of desert legends there.
I mean, I could see it. And also still trying to lure someone out, like kind of like a, hey, I'm out here. Like that's how she kind of described that whistle.
Yeah.
Oh, I would not be able to stay there. It's so interesting how we'll all like pass off like this, oh, I'm just hearing things, or, you know, it's just the wind or an echo. But the stepmom heard it. The brother heard it. They heard it.
And they're not telling each other too.
No.
That is such a common thing in so many stories, both paranormal and true crime. Someone hears something, they kind of talk themselves out of it. They're like, maybe I'm imagining things. And then finally you confess it to someone and it's like, no, the whole family has been experiencing this. They've all just been trying to tell themselves it wasn't really happening.
Yeah, no, that's real. And it's so crazy how we will do this to ourselves too when we have these experiences. It's like, I'm not going to call 911. I'm just going to shut the door and lock the room and try to go to bed. Because like that's what I did. And like clear as day, heard voices, and
it's the voices
saw the light
in
flickering
the
under the door. Like, and it's mine were in the house too. And I'm like, it's fine. Like, just go to bed, go to bed. And it's like,
fine, I'm fine.
That's people do get into other people's houses though. Like,
oh yeah, of course. I know. Do you follow Che Jim?
Yes. Yeah.
I love following him.
He is amazing. I've had him, I did like a weird show for Spotify a long time ago. It was like down the rabbit hole, and we'd evaluate like all like these mysteries and stuff like that, and kind of talk to him about some things. And like, you like cannot say like their actual name. You have to like use other ways to describe it. But like flush pedestrians are like such a big thing.
Well, I was going to say, because
they whistle, don't they?
DNA and lives in Arizona.
Yeah.
And is always talking about the stuff they hear on the reservation over there. And a lot of it's the whistling. It's whistling. It's making sounds that sound human, that maybe sound like someone you know. And it tempts you to go outside and check it out. It's a lot of animals showing up at your door, looking like a deer, but not quite like a deer. Like something's wrong with it.
What?
And it's trying to get you to come outside, and you just have to
fast enough.
Close the doors and the windows and be like, none of my business. I'm staying in tonight.
How do you know though? Like, how do you know? It's just like it's slightly off. I mean, the whistle, I wouldn't go near the whistle, but like if it looks like a deer,
I know.
you're just like, it's a deer.
Yeah.
But it's not.
But it's not. It like moves weird. The idea is like there might be like a human like quality to it almost, the way that like
So
it's
much
walking.
more tired than I thought I was.
It's the idea that it is this
And it's not even
ancient
10
evil
p.m. What is
spirit that
going
is
on?
pretending to be a deer, but it can't get it quite right. So it just looks a little weird. And it sounds a little weird. So yeah, I don't know. It scares me so much. The desert. We talk a lot about the woods on Heart Starts Pounding and a lot about like Appalachia, but the desert is also, there's so many scary stories.
And there's something about the desert, like the vastness and just like how it's like so empty, but yet feels so scary. And like it's pitch black and just like, oh, yeah.
Mhm.
I'm really scared of the dark. So hearing this property and like how big it is and vast it was, and like you had to go unlock the gate to even let the police in, like, and then you hear all these noises and you're so alone, you're so removed from everyone else.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah, if anything happens, you don't even want to call the police because you know it's probably going to take them forever to get there, and then you have to go all the way to the gate. If it was someone on the property, if it was really a man, you don't want to have to like run all the way to the gate. You're just by
No.
yourself. No, it's
no.
horrible.
I'd lose my mind.
Yeah, me
I'd lose my
too.
mind.
Me too. Amber, I'm glad you made it to the airport and you're okay.
Yeah, seriously.
Ugh. Do you want to read your next?
I want to listen to the next story, but I am tired as fuck. I go to bed relatively early, but I still don't sleep enough, I guess. I don't know. But one thing is sure, I am extremely tired. Oh my god. So I'm gonna fucking call it for tonight. And I'm gonna come back tomorrow with more video games and more time. Oh my god. That's kind of crazy. I just started. But anyway, regarding the story that I just heard, that's some white people shit. That's some white people shit. I feel like there's time when you need to run and move. Like, I feel like she waited way too long to finally decide to go sleep at her parents' house or take a taxi or whatever. A taxi, I mean, a cab or a hotel room or Airbnb, regardless. Anywhere but the house that seems to be fucking haunted by some weird ass, either a creep or a ghost. Regardless, bitch. Peace of mind is extremely important, and this does not sound like peace of mind. This sounds like misery. I would never be able to sleep in a place like this. After the first incident, I'd be like, if there's another incident, I'm done. Because you obviously don't want to go be crazy, but I feel like from the story that I just heard, there's many times that she could have ran, and she chose to stay, and that's some white people shit. They always stay too long in places where they're not like welcome in a horror movie, and it results in them dying. It's like there's no self-preservation or self instinct or whatever, but that's beside the point. Ultimately, I will listen to more stories tomorrow. I will go to bed, bitch. Oh my god. And I hope that after a good night of rest, I'm going to be able to react to more stories tomorrow evening. Until then, peace. Sheesh.